Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Everybody needs something to stand for. We're a collection of moments, of firsts. Who can say they saw the first ever pitch to the first ever World Series appearance?
Swinging a ground ball to second. This should do it. Aki has it. Takes it to second himself. This improbable season has another chapter to it. The Rays are going to the World Series.
History was being made, and we were the heart of it. Right here, these seats, we stand alongside our team and watch as the Rays shine on. Raise up.
It is a special night here at Tropicana Field as a magical season of 2008 is memorialized in the 2008 Champions Reunion Weekend for the Tampa Bay Rays. All of this before Game 2 of the series between the Rays and the Chicago White Sox. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tropicana Field. I'm Dwayne Statz. I'll be joined by Brian Anderson here in just a few moments. But boy, what a wonderful pregame ceremony we have witnessed. 20 of the players, Soot Zimmer representing her late husband Don Zimmer here, all honored. 3 of the coaches, including Tom Foley, who was with this franchise in 1996, remains so today, and all experienced the magical season that was 2008. And if you don't think this means anything to them, Akinori Iwamura traveled 24 hours and 7,500 miles from Japan to be here tonight. It's just that special. Let's take a look back down memory lane.
Teams would get mad if they lost the game to us. I mean, we kind of felt like we were at the bottom of the division. We were the pushover.
We thought we were a mid to upper 80s win team at the time. But to even open up our mouths and say that to anybody would have been just laughable. So at that level, we had thought, and we saw that we knew specifically we needed some veteran leadership.
You know, picking up Henske, picking up Floyd, those guys really mentored us throughout that year and made it fun for us. It really did. We're going into Boston, New York, and you know, we're that underdog team, and just we feel like we could beat anyone.
When you're so young and you have a young team, you know, if you feel like you're becoming a big league ball player and you feel like you fit in with the organization or fit into this level of baseball and you belong here, you play the best baseball of your ability.
What we did have that year was special. You know, we never were out of a game. It could be down by 10, but we always thought we had a chance.
Once it started rolling, we were kids playing the game, and we kept that attitude all year. And Joe, I mean, just kept pounding on us to keep that attitude, and we kept it that whole entire season.
To have a team have the worst record in 2 consecutive years, and then basically have about the best record in baseball, and beat out the Yankees and the Red Sox for the in the American League East seemed unheard of.
Guys play their whole career and never make to the playoffs. You know, and I was getting calls game 1 from some veteran guys that were retired, saying like, this is something I never got to do. You know, make the most of it.
Talk about the World Series. All you want with Game 7 at Tropicana Field. Playing the Red Sox, that was the craziest, loudest game I was ever a part of.
You really pinch yourself now and you're like, wow, we did that. We were just rolling with it that year. Things got better and better. All of a sudden we're Game 1 of the World Series. And, before you know it, you're at home like, we just played a World Series.
I think the World Series at that point was really it was just a hangover after effect. With the oddity of it, it was really all about that Game 7 to, especially Boston, because we had beaten them that year in the AL East and won the AL East. It would have taken us years, if at all, to be able to come back from that as a group, and they came back, and a bunch of these guys regrouped again, a couple of years later, and, we ran at it. So nothing, I would tell you, is in my ownership, and however many decades it'll be, we'll be able to approach it. You can win back-to-back World Series. That Game 7 was, and I saw this building that night, and I saw these guys, you won't be able to replicate it again.
And the celebration will continue throughout the weekend, including tonight. And in our telecast, we will hear from Scott Kazmir, Melvin B.J. Upton Jr., Tom Foley, Jason Bartlett will stop by, and so will Dan Wheeler. Rays and the White Sox on a great night at the Trop, moments away. Some of the 20 Rays who were here celebrating the 2008 American League Championship season and a trip to the World Series. What a special baseball moment that was. And when you think that was the beginning of a major turnaround for this franchise and heading into the postseason in 4 of the 6 years during that era, quite an accomplishment by this Tampa Bay Rays franchise. Tonight, the White Sox are in town for the middle game of this series. We'll take a look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Tim Anderson will lead it off. He'll be at shortstop. Larry Garcia is the number 2 hitter, followed by Jose Abreu. Avisail Garcia hits cleanup. Yoan Moncada, who had the game-winning hit last night, will play second and hit 5th in front of the DH Matt Davidson. Yomer Sanchez is at third. Adam Engel in center field, and Omar Narvaez will do the catching and bat night.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. Welcome back Blake Snell, making his 21st start of the season. Last time he took the mound here in a regular season ball game, that was at Minnesota back on July the 12th. And so you expect Blake to go out there, not have the full assortment of as far as number of pitches.
And the first pitch is skied up the right side, foul. That's going to fall into the seats. So we are underway at 10 minutes past the hour of 6. Right on time.
I had that start against the Twins. He threw 75 pitches, and then of course pitched into the All-Star game. But it's been three weeks.
Yeah, and you could really see him, and the Rays have not been overt in disclosing how many pitches they want him to throw tonight, but you could see him throw as few as 50 pitches.
You could. You absolutely could. It'd be interesting to see exactly how it plays out.
Sucre takes care of that little tapper. Sucre out from back of the plate. Anderson is out of there. Well, this has been a great place for Blake Snell to pitch.
Absolutely dominant. I mean, what more could you do? The ERA under 1, 0.87 opponent average at 178. Very comfortable here on the mound at Tropicana Field. And you know what, Dwayne, we go back and talk about the number of pitches that he may get tonight. Compounding that is the fact that, no rehab assignment. So he's thrown a couple of extended bullpens, but he hasn't gone out there and gotten back into game action. So you assume he will be very limited.
Sia swings through the first pitch for a strike. It's an easy 97. It's good to see.
That is very good to see. We start thinking about shoulder fatigue, and they got out in front of that right away. You do not want to let that linger. You do not want to mess around with anybody's shoulder, especially when you're talking about a pitcher.
Up the right side. Yeah, it's difficult as elbows can be. Shoulders, a mystery into themselves.
It was rotator cuff was the big scare for a long time. Then it became Tommy John, and they've, not that you would ever want Tommy John, but the elbow thing they seem to have gotten a better handle on than the shoulder. They can be extremely tricky.
Into the dirt, 1-2. So the Rays will be happy to put that behind, leave it behind on the trail.
And because if he's not sitting at 100% right now, he is not on the mound with what he means to this franchise.
1 away and a 1-2 count. 2 away now with a toss down to first. Sucre to Bowers, and that's the first strikeout for Blake Snell.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense, see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we've got Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez. Across that infield, third to first, Matt Duffy, Willie Adames, Joey Wendell, and Jake Bowers. Jesus Sucre will be behind the plate.
Well, Jose Abreu will be the hitter. And the plate umpire, John Tumpain, is going to have a little chat with the crew chief, Jerry Meals. Rick Renteria, the White Sox manager, came out and had a quick exchange with the plate umpire, who then relayed some information to the Rays dugout, and now the two umpires get together. So that's an early mystery here in this game. Pitch is upstairs. 1-0.
Maybe he thought that strikeout curveball was too nasty. Keep an eye on him. Shouldn't be breaking like that.
Ground ball, and that deflects off the mound into right field. And boy, I'll tell you, Snell, that shot right back at him. And a base hit. And we'll see if Blake is all right. It's a new baseball out there.
I think he's more annoyed that this became a base hit, but Abreu hit that ball sharply, and Dwayne, it looked like it was right off the shin. Zero protection down there, and it got him low.
108 off the bat, right to the shin. Yeah, that's not good. So Abreu now has his first hit ever off Snell, literally off Snell. He's 1 for 5 against him with a couple strikeouts. And now Garcia takes the pitch high. Want to know the count? The cut and the miss. 1-1. So Anderson out, followed by Garcia on the strikeout, then the base hit by Abreu. 1-1 now on Garcia, Avisail Garcia. A roller for Adames. Little toss to second to Wendell. That will take care of Chicago in the first. No score. Rays half of the inning coming up. On the celebratory weekend of that 2008 championship team. Got a look at Scott Kansberry on the mound there. And Scott, great to have you in the booth with us, buddy. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. What's up, bud?
I'll tell you, you look good.
Thank you.
Arm
Thank
loose.
You. Feel good.
Arm loose.
Good to
ready
go. Good to go. I'll be ready for the 8th. That'll be fine.
You may get. Hey, listen.
You might get in there.
Yeah, right. We'll see how the game goes.
Kiermaier is going to lead it off here. Tap down to first, and Abreu is going to take care of that. How is it seeing all these guys again from that special
awesome.
season?
It's great to be able to get all these guys back together again. That's so much fun. I mean, I still keep in touch with some of the guys, but you know, seeing Aki, seeing all these guys come together for the special moment. It was probably the most special moment of my life. You know, to be able to enjoy that 2008 season, and for everyone else to come back and have this reunion, that's awesome.
Well, being the brash young guy that you were, I think, the first guy that spring that publicly said, you know, this team could win it.
I did.
And I mean, it made you.
It didn't really go over well at the beginning.
No, but it made you the greatest soothsayer of all time in regard to Tampa Bay Rays history. What did you see and feel that compelled you to do that?
Well, I felt like we felt at the end of 2007 that we had something very special here. Especially towards the end of the year, we were really rolling. I mean, I don't know how many games our record was at the end, but we felt good going into the offseason. And then the additions that we made, we had, you know, Bartlett and Garza shoring up the defense and pitching, and then you had, you know, Floyd, all these other guys, these veteran guys to really just, it was just perfect role players that were coming in to, you know, be with us young guys and really teach us how to play throughout the entire season.
And Duffy up here with a count of 3-1, one out on the roller by Kiermaier. Duffy draws the walk.
You know, that spring, I remember, you had the fight with the Yankees in spring training, the James Shields Coco Crisp fight. Was that something that you guys, you said, listen, we're going to fight, we're going to have to fight for it, these are the two top teams. Was that something where they said, listen, we're not taking anything from these guys, and if it goes, we're going to go, and that's,
we're kind of getting tired of pushed around.
Yeah, I know.
And we knew we were good at that time. I mean, we knew what we had. And, we got in a little scuffle with the Yankees in spring training, and that lit a fire on us. Everyone came together there. I mean, there's so many different times I could think of just in like a month span where it's like 5 or 6 times where I feel like things were really turning the corner. I mean, you can go back to July, right before the All-Star break. We lost 7 in a row, I think, and how we bounced back after that and how we came back together. Everyone stayed positive. Everyone was behind each other. It was great.
As a young guy, you came in here, I think it was 04.
Yep.
So you experienced the challenge of losing seasons here, one after another. So when you started to see some things fall into place, that opened an entirely new door for you, didn't it?
It did. It really did. We were tired of losing. I mean, there was a lot of 100-loss seasons, from 2004 to 2007. So, and a lot of guys that were on that team experienced all that. So it was that much more special. It was that much more sweet to be able to accomplish what we did in 2008.
Well, that turnaround is going to continue to be one of the greatest, I think, in baseball history. And what that team essentially did, the core staying together, went on and did some other great things. But 08 was indeed a magical season. Popper back at third. Sanchez gives chase, but it's out of play. So it's still a 2-strike count. And if memory serves me correct, I think your numbers were 12-game winner and about a 2.7 ERA, something like that.
That was all towards the defense that we had that entire year. It felt really comfortable to even be behind the count and throw a good quality pitch in the strike zone, knowing that you have those guys behind you.
Yeah, it was an athletic team, to be sure.
I mean, you could just go down the list. I mean, just the middle infield. You had Aki Bartlett. You had Longoria on the corner. I mean, you had Crawford, BJ, everyone else. I mean, I feel like I'm leaving 20 more people out because, we just had just a really athletic group of guys.
Yeah, those 5 guys, they covered enough ground on their own.
They did. Yes, they did.
Down to second one. Return throw to first will not be in time to get the double play. Bowers reaches on a fielder's choice, and Duffy is out. Abreu to Anderson. 2 gone. Well, Bowers is the runner at first with C.J. Crone coming in. The other thing about that club that was so great, all the young talent on there, but they sprinkled in some veterans who had been through those situations before, and boy, what a difference they made.
It was a huge difference. Just thinking of Hensky and Floyd, just kind of how they went about their business. They were that veteran that, I mean, they cheered for everyone. I mean, like, they wanted to do well, obviously, but, the way that they just embraced everyone on the team, made everyone better, made everyone comfortable, kept the clubhouse light. It was a huge change for us, for the better, that's for sure.
Well, you mentioned that the little slide the club had right before the All-Star break, and everybody scattered to go where they're going to go for the All-Star break, and I happened to wind up in a cab with Cliff Floyd, and I said to him, well, this is the stretch that everybody in baseball has been looking for. That this club, now they're going to give it up.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, they're going to give it up. And he was just matter-of-factly adamant, if you can be those two things at the same time, that was not the case, and that team would prevail. And I think it's leadership like that mixed in with that young talent that made such a difference on that club.
That's what it was. Those guys really just kept us focused in just in the present, and that's something, we're young guys. That's something that we're not good at, when you're young, is to really just be present in the moment and, just have fun with everything. And they were able to kind of just put that on us in the clubhouse and on the field.
Was there a moment where you really felt like this is it? This is when we're going to get it done? Was it after the All-Star break when you bounced back and started playing good baseball again, where you said, this is for real and we're going to get it done?
It was. It was after the All-Star break.
Bowers caught off first on a break, and so that's going to retire the side. Scott, you look great, so stick around. About the 6th, 7th, 8th inning, we might see you out there.
There you go. I'll warm up.
Scott Kazmir spending some time in the booth with us. On the 2008 championship reunion weekend here at Tropicana Field. And look, I know it's Melvin Upton now, but it's hard not to say BJ, so you got to give us at least that.
Oh, no, y'all were fine, man. Y'all were grandfathered in, dude. Like,
grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, believe me, I am well grandfathered in 3 times over. So we're hey, it's good to see you.
Man, good to see you.
Wow. What about this this weekend?
You know what? It's been fun, man. It's been fun seeing the guys. You know what? A couple of guys you hadn't talked to in a while, but, you know, the funny thing is everybody looks the same.
They really do.
You know what I mean?
I
Everybody looks the same. I mean, there's a little gray sprinkled in there on everybody. You know, I'm not excluding myself, but for the most part, man, everybody seems well and everybody looks the same. For me, they look like they could still play. So
a number of them,
yeah,
including yourself, as a matter of fact.
Hey, man, Foley was just giving me a hard time. He said, I'm the only guy that stops playing and loses weight.
Yeah, that's amen to that. Foley's right.
Well, what a part of that season you are, and for this franchise to come up, be developed by this organization, and then do what you did. Let's go down memory lane for a moment here. A couple of home runs in the division series against the White Sox. Take us through that moment.
Honestly, man, I don't even know.
Just a blur.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
BA. I mean, sometimes you're just out there doing it.
And you know what? And I think that once you get into the postseason, and it's hard to talk to a player that hasn't been to the postseason to describe to him what it's like. Because, yes, it's baseball and the rules are the same. It's a different level. And you're so in the moment that it's hard to look back and say, yeah, I remember doing that. I don't remember a whole lot around it.
You know, like, I don't remember the first 2 games here against the White Sox. I don't. I do remember the first game there, and I should know the song. What's the song they played? The Thunder.
Thunderstruck.
Yes.
Yes.
And it drops, and they call it a blackout, but the whole stadium had white towels, and I'm standing in center field, and the stadiums look like it's going back and forth, and I'm trying to scream at Carl, and he can't hear me, and I'm screaming to the right fielder, he can't hear me, and I'm like, all right, well, this is the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. And
Yeah.
from then on, I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, these are the ground rules. Let's go play some ball.
Well, the strikeout of Moncada and a 4-pitch walk to Davidson puts a runner aboard for Chicago.
You know, going into spring training in 2008, we were just talking to Scott Casimir, the optimism, the quiet confidence that team had, and a big reason why, the year that you had in 07, I mean, hit 300, 24 homers, you drive in 80+, steal a ton of bags, huge on-base percentage rolling into that year. What was that spring training like for you?
You know what? It was, I think we all knew we had talent. It was just a matter of putting it together. And I think the front office did a great job, man. They added some key pieces because obviously I was out in the middle infield. We all know how that went. So we added some key pieces in the middle infield, man, and added an arm. I think one of the biggest moves is Matt Garza. I mean, we added a solid 3. We forget about Edwin Jackson, who was the 5 in that rotation. I think he won 14, 15 games that year. So you can think about that run and you just forget about a lot of things that you wouldn't have predicted to happen, and they happened for us.
I thought it was such a great balance of a club, starting with the athleticism, and that really started with a guy like you and Crawford. It was as athletic, I think, a team as they've ever had here.
You know what? I've never been more comfortable with a left fielder than Carl. I don't know. It was like this imaginary line in left center that I knew I didn't have to cross and that he knew he didn't have to cross. We just had that understanding.
It's great how that works out. You make each other even better than you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was our goal, and we pushed each other. That was our goal, and that was our whole team. We all pushed each other, not to want to do better, but for us as a whole to get better, and we knew it was going to take that for us to get to where we wanted to be.
Such a tough division. I can remember coming off the field after my second spring training game that season is when I blew out. The first spring training game was up in Tampa against the Yankees, and I remember the fly ball to end the inning, and I can remember talking to BJ and to Carl because I was a fly ball guy, and I'd keep him in the yard. But I'm like, you felt so good. Go ahead and hit it in the air. These two guys, it's not touching grass. The way that you covered ground, and like you said, the athleticism of the team and the way that it all came together, and getting a chance to sit back and watch it from afar at that point, it was something else, and especially in the division that you're in.
Yeah. And you know what? I wish Rocco could have stayed healthy for the majority of that and been in right field.
What an outfield that would have been.
Man, that would have been. I mean, but you look back and you think about the talent that we had, and I mean, it was.
Well, the throw to the plate's going to be in time. They cut down Davidson. Sanchez wound up going to third, and the Rays deny the White Sox a run. And Davidson tried to score all the way from first on that ball back into the corner. Eventually retrieved by Malik Smith to start the chain back.
And here it is. He's got to go a long way for this, Dwayne. And there is throw number 1 at Damas. And Jesus Sucre going to catch this ball right on the back of Davidson before that left hand got to home plate. And you can see the home plate umpire, John Tumpain, saying that the tag got to the back before the hand got to the plate.
On a scoop.
Wow.
By Sucre. Look at that.
When he's right on top of it, calls him out, then right here is saying, got you right there on the back.
So 7-6-2 on the play at the plate. And now Adam Engel up with a man at third and 2 gone. Fly ball into right. Gomez will be there and make the catch to retire the side. Melvin Upton, BJ. Good to see you, buddy.
BJ.
See you,
all right.
Good to see you.
Enjoy the weekend. Catch here, Jesus Sucre to deny the White Sox a run in the top half of this inning. So on to the bottom of the second we go. C.J. Cron will start his bat all over again. 1 ball, no strikes. He was up there when Bowers was caught off first. Technically caught stealing. He was breaking and was caught in the rundown. 1-1. The count's been a busy start here. No score, but boy, we've been busy.
Yes. Yeah, what, busy up in the booth, busy down on the field.
Yeah, all over the place.
Fellas wanting to get up here quick. I can't believe, this is the thing, I can't believe that it's been 10 years.
It shows you how quickly it goes.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Because that was when I came down here. In for that spring training, and to think that
well, look at you,
that Kevin Cash giving me, saying it looked pretty good in that uniform. Got to get out there.
Yeah, he says, can you still go and drop down? Could be a spot in the bullpen for you now. It's Abreu out from first, going to make the catch on the pop by Cron. And that is second out. See, you enjoyed that.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Well, you know what?
The story can be told now. All your friends, and
yes,
you have a multitude of friends, all of us encouraging you to do that. You were a little shocked.
No, I did not want to be down there. I honestly, that not for any other reason other than I didn't feel that I should be down there. I didn't do anything.
You were part of that clubhouse. You were down there.
Well, yeah.
You were part of the clubhouse spread.
That's no reason to be down on the field. No, I really, in my mind's eye, thought, listen, this is these guys, that what they accomplished that season was so special because of where that organization had come from, the division that they were in, and the feeling that we all had in spring training. And then I get injured, have to go to the sidelines, and fortunately they asked me to stay on the coaching staff. Now I'm watching it happen, and I'm watching these guys do their things, and all of those aspirations and the dreams of spring training come to fruition all season long. Was amazing. But at the same time, I'm getting coffee for Hickey. I'm looking at a little video, part-time psychologist. I just, I didn't.
See, you did it all.
Well, again.
A multiple threat.
I'm honored that they wanted to have me down there and that you all encouraged me to, but I felt a little unworthy.
Well, and you were the first guy out there to greet Sue Zimmer, and they could count on you to do the proper thing there. Gave her a little hug, and that's what you're supposed to do. Here is Gomez going to dig for two. He's going to be in there. Head first with the slide. The double for Gomez. That's his 13th.
Now the Rays getting a little burst of energy here. Gomez is going to slice this thing down. How about that? Out of the box, he's already seeing, I got a chance at this. Boy, head first right in there.
So a scoring opportunity for the Rays with Joey Wendell about to step in. So popping out of the mid of Narvaez, and over to third goes Gomez.
A curveball stayed up and in. First it looked like it may clip Joey Wendell. He kind of leans and keeps himself there, and then right off the thumb of the glove.
Now the Rays have a man at third with only one out.
Could be extremely costly. Got to bring the infield in now.
It's the 11th pass ball of the year charged to Narvaez. A strike on the edge. 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes. and a miss. Boy, that's a big strikeout for the White Sox lefty.
Well, he can be tough on lefties. And right here you see two-seamer, but it's a two-seamer up. And Joey Wendell trying to pull those hands in, just cannot do it in time. And that is a huge strikeout. Allows that infield to go back, and now it's just about getting the hitter, stranding the runner.
Carlos Rodon out there, 25-year-old lefty, and boy, he toughened up there with the man at third. Now looks the runner Gomez back to third there. Gomez a little liberal with his lead down off third base and down the line a little bit. Gomez takes the strike. Gomez perhaps thinking that this lefty was too focused watching him work to Wendell.
There are some Rays players that are quite adventurous on the base pass. Carlos Gomez being one of them, and you're right, maybe trying to steal him literally.
Tapper foul. It's 0-2.
Or maybe get far enough down there that you get Rodon to flinch. A sudden steal run that way, and he's hearing it from the dugout.
Adames takes it down. Adames was in the middle of that relay that denied the White Sox a run when they got Davidson, when the Rays got Davidson at the plate. The tapper to the left. That's Anderson, wide throw, safe at first. Abreu's foot off the bag, and the Rays get a run. How about that?
Well, you know what, Dwayne? His foot may have come off the bag, but I think Adames beats it anyway. I think that'll go right down as a hit. It's up the middle, a tough throw, but it was you're throwing back against your body, so he couldn't get everything that he wanted on it, and I think Adames beat it anyway. He was there.
He gets a run batted in, his 13th of the year. Well, the Rays take advantage of the pass ball. And on the infield hit, they have a run. And if you're the manager of the White Sox, or a team that just gave up a run like that, that's what drives you crazy.
Well, you know what, and Dwayne, we talk about it all the time. At this level, the margin for error is so thin that unfortunately teams, with the White Sox and younger teams that make a lot of mistakes, that's why the record is what it is. Bill Parcells famously said, your record, what your record says, that's who you are. And so too many mistakes made. You think about the pass ball on a fluttering curveball that gave him the chance.
Runner takes off, pitches high, and the throw is in time. Adames caught stealing for the second time this year. Anderson, the shortstop, put the tag on him. Kevin Cass wants to check with his video experts. Rays with a run already home in the second inning, and they're going to decide if they want to challenge that call or not. And the call is okay. So the Rays settle for one run and lead 1-0 through 2. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Rays with a 1-0 lead. We go to the third. Blake Snell's first pitch is a strike call. Omar Narvaez, the catcher, leading off. 27 pitches through the first 2 for Snell. 1-1. They picked up a hit in the first inning. Picked up a walk and a hit in the second, but no runs. It's a 2-1 count.
You had that great relay. Malik Smith, Willie Adames, and the perfect tag by Sucre before Davidson could get that left hand to the home plate.
There's a strike. 2-2.
You know, sometimes that's all it takes. Energizes your team. They come out. Carlos Gomez with a hustle double, gets to third on a pass ball, able to score on a hustle single by Adames, and now you got Blake Snell out there with that 1 run, starting to pump heaters.
Full count. Well, that's why you hustle.
And think about it. How many at-bats you going to get in a night?
I mean, that's your own decision.
3, 4, 5. Yes, it's the you don't teach hustle.
Yeah.
You know, you may not have the skills of maybe another player in the game, maybe another player on your team, but you can all give full effort all the time. And when you're talking about a 3-hour ball game where you're going to get 4 at-bats, put the ball in play 3 times, of course because you took a walk, then those 3 times busted. Just let it go. And you know what? The Rays do that, and they have forced teams into making errors, trying to hurry throws and hurry plays along.
Yeah, we talked about with Casimir and Upton, there's ball 4, how athletic that team was in 08. But it was also a team, and in great measure because of their athleticism, but because of their effort, would force the issue. And it's nice to have that mentality with a team.
They played with the chip on their shoulder. There was just a little edge to them.
Yep.
And I think a lot of that had to do with the belief of how good they were, like those 2 guys said. And then the division that they're in, because you know the Yankees and the Red Sox are like, look, you're still, I know you're the Rays now, but you're still the Devil Rays. Just stay in your lane. And these guys were like, not so much.
Yeah, no, we're going to paint our own lane right now.
Yes, right over you.
Pitch a little wide to Tim Anderson, 1-0. That's a fun part of this game, and boy, what a run that was. Anderson out in front of that one. Nice job by Snell. Two and one. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Runner at first is the catcher Narvaez. Lifted into right. Gomez will go back a few steps. They're waiting, and he puts that one away. Well, we've heard about the little mix-ups here, and that was the first one in spring training when Elliott Johnson went into Francisco Cervelli, and then, well, that you get kicked out of an exhibition game in the spring, and then both benches empty. And then in Boston, that's Coco Crisp and James Shields with a throw down.
If James Shields' right overhand connects, wow, it's already over.
Maori Garcia.
That
pitch a little wide.
The Yankee game, the Yankee spring training game. After everything calmed down, that's when I came in and left what was left of my elbow out on the pitching mound. That was the day that it all ended.
Good.
That brings back wonderful memories.
Glad we could rekindle that for you. My, oh my.
Yeah. Had a little coffee buzz going. Then you get in the fight.
Yeah.
And then everything is just going. And it's, oh, hey, get ready. You're heading out there in the sixth.
Things are firing just a little bit too much.
Things were firing a little bit too much. And then the next thing you know, you're in an MRI tube, getting everything confirmed.
And eventually on your way to the broadcast booth.
It's such a strange journey, for sure. And again, the fact that that was a decade ago. Wow.
That's a strike now, 2-1.
But BJ was right. A lot of these guys have kept themselves in tip-top shape.
Good.
Look like they can go out there and put together quite the team. Still.
Foul. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, we've often talked about what a great area is in which to live. And both those guys, Kazmir and Upton, decided to live here for good reason. And Aki made that long trip from Japan to get over here. 7,500 miles. That's how much he wanted to be here. Good guy he is. Ground ball short. Adames to Wendell for 1. Over to Bowers for 2. 6-4-3 on the double play. Through 2.5. 1-0 Rays. And boy, this is a special moment in the history of this franchise. Akinori Iwamura taking that ground ball thrown by David Price, and let the celebration begin. The ground ball out of Jed Lowry, and Aki reliving that moment, enjoying this reunion. Foul ball by Malik Smith, out of play. Strike one. Malik's at the plate when Adames was caught stealing to end the second inning. He's facing the 25-year-old left-hander Carlos. Oh, look out. Now 1-1. Quick seat up there by Malik Smith.
And those balls up and in near the eyes. That'll get that head snapping back, and the body will follow.
Look where Sanchez is. Boy, he was very close down at third.
Trying to take away that bunt. Alex Smith can flat out fly. And he is, and we saw this last night too, Dwayne. He is way in. You see some guys at the cut of the grass. I mean, he is a good 6, 7, 8 feet in and over off the line. That's an aggressive setup for sure.
Rodon misses. It's 3-1.
That's where you think that, okay, if you want to come all that way in to take away the bunt, now I'm just looking for something middle away, and I'll just slap it right by you. You just don't have time to react.
And instead, he draws the walk. He's on this way. Well, it was Aki to throw out the first pitch to Jason Bartlett. What a combination that was around second base.
Yeah,
Bartlett says, I think I'll keep this.
That's what it was going to take, a total team effort, and Iwamura moving over to second base.
Sanchez takes care of the pop-up. That pitch in on Sucre. He's out number one. Yeah, that move to second base was big by Iwamura. Not only did it accommodate Longoria, but Aki did a nice job at second base.
See, that's the thing. First of all, you've got to be willing, number one, and sometimes that it doesn't go very well. But then you've got to be able to make the transition and make the plays.
Yep.
And he was able to do that. So all of a sudden, that infield became such a strength of this team to go along with the outfield. It's no wonder these guys did what they did.
Kevin Kiermaier taking a strike. Oh, this has been a great thing here this weekend, honoring that 2008 team. Start to stop by Malik's off first. It's 1-1. The guys have loved it. I think the fans have just loved it as well. Running into the fans at the ballpark here today, talking with some of them, they're fired up about this. Trip down memory lane.
You know, the thing that's nice too is you've allowed it to build all season long, and then you get it here in August after the trade deadline, and twofold. You get James Shield, who's such a big part of that team, involved, and coming in with the Chicago White Sox, the team that they faced off with in the playoffs to get things started. So full circle, it worked out perfectly.
Swing and a miss, runner going, and Malik's is in there, head first with a stolen base. Malik's picks up number 26.
You're going to go first movement, and there he goes. You know, he got a good jump earlier in the at-bat, but stopped. You're going to say, hey, Malik, don't stop next time. That's about as good a job as Narvaez could do. It didn't matter.
So Malik's 26 of 34 in the steal department, and he is in scoring position. Pitch inside, 2-2.
I'll tell you what, Rodon has gotten around a number of breaking balls here in the early going of this ball game. And if he continues to do that, one of those are going to float out over the heart of the plate, and someone's going to put it in the seats.
Foul the other way.
That's why you bring it. And then you floss. Wayne, we're going to get you to do that before the end of the season, because I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like a 78 record, if you know what that is. Played on 33 1/3. Very slow. Little pop foul back a third. So the count remains 2-2. The Rays with a run in the second inning. Now a chance for another one here in the third. A man on with only one out, top of the order up there. And Kiermaier is out on strikes. 2 gone. Well, a refresher here on the Florida Lottery jackpot board. That 08 team 97-65, winning the East straight out over Boston. And Evan Longoria came in as the American League Rookie of the Year at third. That's when Aki moved over to play second. Duffy takes the first pitch for ball 1. Duffy walked his first time facing the lefty. Ground ball up the middle, but right there is Moncada who makes the play, and the Rays are out in the third. They leave a man through 3, 1-0 Tampa Bay. One nothing lead. Tom Foley, part of the festivities here on this special weekend. The third base coach during the run to the World Series. And Tom joins us now. Tom, good to see you.
Glad to be up here. You know, I never get to listen to you guys, but I'm sitting here with you.
There you go. Part of the show. And welcome to it.
Well, make it your home. I want you to feel comfortable. So Abreu is going to lead it off here in the fourth. Pitch is down. We've been chatting with a number of the members coming back from that 2000 2008 team, and I would think it was a special season for everybody involved, but for you, Tom, because you were truly here at the birth of a franchise.
Yeah, it was
before they had a big league club.
Before we had a player.
You were trying to help lay the groundwork.
Right, and it was kind of rough at the beginning. That groundwork wasn't working out.
Oh, there's Abreu sending one into center. Kiermaier's back to the track, and he'll look up and watch that one rebound off the batter's eye. His 19th home run of the year, and with that, this game is tied 1-1. Abreu homered last night, hit one out to left, and hit this one out of here to center.
Obviously, today, this weekend has been all about the 2008 team, and we've had a couple of the players up here talking about that quiet confidence they had, the optimism coming into the season. What was it like on the coaching staff? Did you guys mirror that? Did you feel that that team was going to be capable of doing what they did?
Yeah, it's hard. People would look at you and say you're crazy. Last to first and coming in, finishing last place, and thinking we're going to go to the World Series the next year. Nobody's going to believe that. I don't know if we believed it either going into the season, but we had a good club. We had a good nucleus of players, a good nucleus of young players, and we brought in some veterans. They put that club together pretty well. It gelled really well, and it just took off.
Now Garcia under this one. Towering fly ball, not too deep to center. Avisail Garcia is out number one. It's going to bring up Moncada.
He's got the best seat in the house.
That's what Dwayne says. That's what Dwayne says. And the monitors to help
monitors,
out.
Yeah. All the comforts of home.
You got a glove up here?
You can like it up here.
You got a glove?
Like it. Yeah.
No, BA.
Come on. No. This is your chance. Take over the next couple of outs of this inning. And
nah. My wife wouldn't let me. I can't do that. She likes hearing both you guys.
So what was the okay, so the team gets off to its start, and what was there a moment for you that you thought, boy, this is really coming together even maybe better than we thought?
Yeah, well, as the season went on and you're starting to have some really good series against clubs, maybe not win them, but splitting series and then winning a couple here, and then they just start to add up. And then you catch yourself close to the middle of the season and we're right in the hunt, but always with that fear of other people saying, or whether it be on another broadcast or something, it's only a matter of time before the Rays become the Rays, or the Devil Rays become the Devil Rays. Oh no, it was the Rays with the Rays, but we just kept going with it, didn't think about it, and it just wins keep adding up, series keep adding up, belief,
that
it can happen, and then we just never looked back. Once we got past the All-Star break.
Well, and that's interesting because leading into the All-Star break, there was an opportunity if the team was going to fold for it to fold.
That was probably when we asked ourselves the question, what we lose 7 going into the break, four-game sweep in Cleveland, and then you have the All-Star break. Now everybody goes home. You're wondering how we're going to come back. What's the mindset? I thought it was great because we were struggling a little bit to go ahead and get the break, bring them in here for a workout, and then start the second half of the season. And fortunately, that's what happened. They came back, and we just went off again.
2 outs with a run home on the home run by Abreu. Davidson takes it down. 3-0.
It's not often, by the way, that we get a third base coach. How many years did you do that?
13.
Okay, so when you're going into a series, how much studying are you doing on knowing the outfielders, the positioning, because those are hair trigger quick calls that you have to make that could be the difference between a win and a loss. We only talk about the third base coach when maybe he makes a mistake.
Really?
Exactly. We try to point out when it's a good send, but how much studying do you do to be so prepared to make those quick decisions?
You know, we get a lot of information, and the longer you're there, you know the players that are out there. You grade their arms. We get information. We get grades. We may change the grades from the information that we get. We say, all right, if he's got a 55 arm, we may say, no, he's got a 60. He can really throw, or it's accurate. Whereas a guy that may have a 60 arm, but he's got a lot of tail to his throw, it's going to bring him down, and you might be able to run on him. It's not as accurate. So we do look at that. We have reports that come in, and we read those reports. We see how shallow they play. You know, if a team would look at us, they know where we play. We might play a little deeper, but there are guys that do play deep but walk in on the pitches. So yeah, they do that. Q, I'm sure, along with Charlie, because Charlie's a pretty good third base coach. He really was. I really liked watching Charlie. So Q's got a good guy there to lean on.
Davidson skies it to center. That's going to wrap up the top of the fourth. Tom Foley, great to see you, and you're welcome to stop by anytime.
That's it, huh? Okay.
Season that was 2008, to the point of being the most valuable player on that team, and we're happy to have Jason join us in the booth now as we go to the bottom of the fourth in this one. And Jason, everybody who's come in here, everyone we've talked with, so happy to be here, and I think the overriding comment about each other is what great shape everybody's in.
Oh. Go. Well, let's talk about it, because Dwayne, we got a great segue, and you have no idea.
Before we go there, so when they did the intro, I looked at Hendu, and I always gave Hendu a bad time about his hip. He's got a bad hip. And then I hear Foley, no one's running out. And so I gave one of these to Hendu.
Oh, no.
So they said, you better not do that. I've never walked out on an intro. That was awkward.
Yeah, very. Very. But okay, so let's transition that. Dwayne, you talk about how good a shape these guys are in. And Jason, what are you doing? Where are you at now, and what are you up to?
We're in Naples, Florida, and my wife and I started a gym. It's called 643 with the play on the double play. 643 hit room. So we do high intensity interval training, and we invited about 30 of our friends, clients to the game today, and it's been a great time.
And apparently leading up here to the 10-year celebration, had most of the team come down there and train for the last month before the boys showed up here at the ballpark.
The guys look good, man. We definitely go out there.
2-2, Jake Bowers leading off in the bottom of the fourth, with this game tied 1-1. Ray's facing the lefty, a little tapper foul. How quickly did you make the transition coming in here? People talk about, of course, the 08 team, but the 07 team started to show some signs that there was some talent here. You were one of the guys who came in here who made a difference. When you got here in spring training, what was the mindset then for you and this club?
Well, coming here, from Minnesota, like, I knew this team was good. Like, they have great players. you know, they were getting those top draft picks a lot, you know, so they had the talent. And when I came over here, you know, Foley, Joe, they just let the older guys kind of, you know, take over. Like, you guys go run the clubhouse. And I think the younger guys saw our work ethic and what we brought here. You know, I was out there with Aki taking ground balls early with Foley. You know, the older guys like Carlos out hitting off the tee or doing extra hitting. And these guys saw it. You know, they saw what we wanted, what we're striving for, and I think it rubbed off on them.
And by the way, think about, Dwayne, think about that trade that the Devil Rays at the time, transitioning to the Rays, made, where you bring in Jason Bartlett, and Matt Garza from Minnesota in that deal. You talk about two stalwarts on that squad.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest trades that any club can
really
make. If you get a starting pitcher and a shortstop, the caliber of shortstop that you brought to this club, they gave up essentially Delman Young, but what a trade that turns out to be.
I mean, you jump starts right, you know, from the off season into spring training, like you said.
You know, I was saying over on the radio, you know, a lot of guys really never knew about Garza until, you know, he came here in the spotlight. But when I was over in Minnesota, we needed a pitcher during spring training, and they knew about Garza, and he was in minor league camp. And so they went and they called him, hey, come up here, we need a pitcher. And he dealt. You know, so I knew from the get-go, like, this guy's a stud, man. And he was a young kid at the time. He wasn't nervous, and he was fastballs, you know, right by people. He wasn't scared.
Boy, you know, speaking of that, how important is that when you talk about getting to this level where the margin for error is so thin, playing not scared, playing with confidence,
right,
because everybody's good. I mean, the talent around here, you know, at this level is so good. But talk a little bit about that, about the mindset to be successful.
Well, I think that's why, you know, the Rays in 08 were successful. You know, Joe let the young guys come up and just play. You know, you see a lot of veteran guys or coaches. You know, they don't like the young kids to be that loose up here yet. You know, you got to respect the game, respect the veterans, and so they kind of get tense. Joe said, you're up here, you know the game, just go out and play. You know, a lot of times when you get called up, you see guys that you play with on video games. You know, I remember Minnesota, Frank Thomas hit a double, and he gets to second base, and I look up at him, and I'm like, Frank Thomas, like, you know, I'm next to Frank Thomas right now, and imagine how big he was standing on the base, and I'm next to him. You know, there's a lot of that goes on your first couple of years.
Boy, there is some truth to that, because I can remember when I came up with the Angels, it was like that times 10. I mean, you talk about having them not put their thumb on you, put their whole hand on you. And you played to get through the end of the season. Here you're living out a dream, and you couldn't wait to get to the offseason because it was miserable.
Right.
And yet, you know, you see what guys are capable of, what teams are capable of when you just come. Now listen, know your place, stay in your lane, but have fun and go play the game free and easy. And watching the mix that you guys had and what you were able to accomplish, huge.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome having Cliff, Hinsky, you know, and I give a lot of credit to Carlos Pena, man. Like, when I came over here, I didn't know many people, and Rondell White called Carlos, and he's like, hey, take care of my boy Bartlett. And so Carlos and I were living on the beach, sand in between our toes, and then playing baseball at night.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was a life.
A couple of walks here to open the fourth. Carlos Gomez up, mid at first and second. In a 1-1 ball game. And the first one popped to the right side, foul. Okada and Abreu both out there. And Abreu makes the catch on that one. When the trade was initially made, what went through your mind?
Got to pack up again. You know, that's the first thing. Because I remember I was in the supermarket. Garza and I were going back and forth. Like, hey, have you heard anything? No, my agent said this. Or then he called me, you know, and he said, hey, it's about to happen. I was like, all right. And so I got home, and I was visiting family at that time. So we got home. I told him, you know, and I was like, I got to get back. I got to start packing. You know, it's gonna happen, and we got a new adventure coming up.
Had no idea what was in store for you, did you?
I didn't, man. And what's funny is, so we're staying at the hotel down the road, Outlying Field. You know, that was the spring training field. And like we had to bus over to the small fields, and it was something totally different. You know, I'm like, this is just weird right now. You know.
Then you look at the facility that they have now and all the money that they put into it. How about, though, the teams that you've played for? You know, you're up in Minnesota, and you come all the way down to Florida. You end up out in San Diego. You talk about taking a tour of the country.
And then live back in Florida, yeah.
And then come back down to Florida, to Naples, no less.
Yeah, well, it's funny. When I got traded to San Diego, my wife and I always talked about living there. And so it actually gave us a chance to experience it. And bottom line, we needed family around. So we moved back here. Her parents moved out to Florida, and, you know, this has been a blessing out here.
Wendell on the ground is short. Anderson, Moncada won, and over to first. Safe the call there. So Bowers moves into third. It'll be first and third. Wendell hustling his way into a safe call at first.
So you and Aki turned that? You guys, is this inning over with you and Aki out there?
Oh, yeah, of course, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We got cowbells going right now.
Do you any desire to ever get back into the game?
As far as like coaching and stuff?
Anything.
I do miss the game, not playing. I miss being around it. You know, I coach my boys' little league teams, and it's tough because at that age they're 10 and 7. Stuff I want to tell them and, you know, teach them, it's just too advanced. So as I get older, I'm really going to enjoy it. But yeah, you know, if I could help out some team but not be away from my boys too much, then I would definitely do it.
Willie Adames up here. Here's a guy you might spend some time with.
I've heard about him, yeah.
Yep. Willie Adames, in many evaluations, the top prospect in the organization, certainly as a position player. 1-1 the count. Who had the greatest influence on you as a shortstop?
When I was in Minnesota, Al Newman did a lot of early work with me.
Yep. Fly ball center, caught by Engel. Jason, great to see you here. And
thank you, guys.
Enjoy this weekend. It's been fun for everybody. And boy, what a great contribution you made to this club.
I appreciate it. It's some great memories. I loved it.
Southern Chevy dealers. By Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. Scott Kazmir showcasing the championship ring of the 2008 season for the Rays. And on the hill for the Rays, moving into the 5th, is Yonny Chirinos. Blake Snell In his first start off the DL, 59 pitches and 4 innings of 1-run baseball.
Well, we wondered last night, thought maybe Yanni Chirinos would pitch on Friday night, not so much. Would he get in there for Blake Snell? It seemed to make sense, but the Rays play that kind of close to the vest, so here he is. When you think about the two guys, two completely different styles.
Faces Sanchez, who doubled in the second inning. An 0-2 count. Chirinos quickly ahead. One ball, 2 strikes. Chirinos not altogether happy with his last performance. That came in Baltimore when he worked 3 innings. Gave up 4 runs, 3 earned. It was one of those days when he was not the Chirinos we've seen so much of before.
Well, that guy goes out and pounds the zone. Pounds the zone early, expands with the sinker, confident when the off-speed pitches. You see right here just kind of spraying that fastball around just a little bit. And a nice at bat there by Sanchez to stay disciplined and take the walk. Well, Blake Snell, making that return. I'm sure he had vamped up pretty good. A good curveball right there. That fastball in that 95, 97 range. Ball on the ground, that's always a good thing. A strikeout, you'll take that. Changeup was good. Curveball was good. Just all about building up that pitch count from here on out.
Chirinos keeping an eye on Sanchez. Sanchez will run. He is 10 of 12 in the running department. Adam Engel takes a strike. Squares to bunt. That's a strike. 0-2. And a cut and a miss. Fastball, that one hit 96. And Engel is out on strikes.
Wow, that had some hair on it. And Adam Engel's swing gets a little bit long. That's a bad combo. 96 up, long swing.
Here's the catcher, the number 9 hitter, Narvaez. Walk the first time around. And a double last night, 1 for 4. All those strikes. Chicago got a run in the 4th inning on the home run by Jose Abreu. His 19th of the year. On Sanchez, he's back. continues to keep an eye on the Chicago infielder. Time now as Chirinos held the ball out there on the runner.
Yeah, paying an awful lot of attention to Sanchez, and you look at that angle right there. His lead is not very big. You see the aggressive leads. The left foot gets out here to the cut of the grass. That's where his right foot is. So not a very aggressive lead at all for Sanchez.
Pitch fouled. It's 1-1. Chirinos pitched against the White Sox in Chicago. That was on the 11th of April. It's 5 1/3 scoreless innings. Rays eventually dropped that game 2-1. Foul ball, runs the count to 1-2. Chirinos gave up 4 hits in 5 1/3, including a base hit to Narvaez. That's foul back. Chirinos with Sanchez at first has really slowed his pace tremendously.
And obviously, you know, I guess there's a reason behind it, and you're trying to slow down maybe the game, slow down the running game. You know, you got to recognize Sanchez is not taking a very aggressive lead or a very big lead. You do want to vary your times, but you don't want to grind it to a halt. That's the fine line that you walk.
Runner goes, a pitch hit on the ground to second. Throw to second out there and over to first. The Rays get the double play. 4-6-3. Wendell decided to go to second with the runner breaking, and the Rays turn 2.
Dwayne, that speaks to how short the lead was. I mean, when a guy has a lead and he is off and running and you can still turn the double play. Had to jump over the ball too, but Wendell, quick feed to Adames. Boy, it looked like he got there, maybe.
Well, the White Sox want to take a look at that.
Boy, it looked like he was almost coming up out of the pop-up slide while he was being called out. So this will be interesting. But still, the fact that you would even try to get him lets you know that the lead not very big, and burden of proof now lies with the White Sox.
So the crew chief, Jerry Meals, with the headsets on. What do you think right there?
It's
pretty close.
It is so close, and again, is it clear and convincing? Boy, that first angle that we saw, that was the old tie. I mean, that foot coming into the bag, the ball's going into the glove. The good thing for the Rays is the call went their way on the field.
Well, you get the feeling that if the Rays get out of this inning, it will be on a stand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty close.
They drop confirm on that. They're just lying. Although, if they overturn it, well, they're saying that they see enough. I mean, this is interesting because
They'll break it down frame by frame.
Right, and then, so the ball's not in the glove yet. Is that foot, can they definitively say that foot is on the front edge of that bag? That's the thing. It looks like it is, but can you say definitively 100% it is? I mean, that's where you may trip up a little bit.
The White Sox and Renteria challenging the call.
Here we go.
And he's going to be out. So they get the double play, 4-6-3. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Renteria comes out and is not happy at all about that. Here's that play at second base. And the Rays get the double play. Rick Renteria challenged it. The White Sox did not prevail. And Mio says, don't come any closer. I'm going to have to eject you. And he continued to come closer, and there's the ejection.
That's not any fun. That is not any fun. By the way, if you're going to get tossed from afar, then go get your money's worth. That's what he did. Probably could have spent a few more bucks, but
Alex Smith swings and misses. The bottom of the 5th is underway.
I mean, you see some of the old videos, the colorful managers and the back and forth exchanges, and then you get that.
All you have to do is track down Earl Weaver videos.
Oh, yeah, well, some of them.
Or two. There's some classics in there.
Now the umpire has a safe space, and you can't invade it. And if you do, well, then you're out.
There you are.
Then go head to the crime room.
Renteria has been ejected, but you just can't argue those calls. That was the understanding from the beginning. So
you can't do anything anymore. You can't argue those calls. You can't say anything about a ball and a strike. Jeez. Can you do?
It's not the rough and tumble Wild West anymore.
No, it's not. You're just going to have to get used to that, people.
So Smith up here, Sucre, and then back around to the top of the order. Check. It's 2-2. Well, the Rays with a run on 2 hits. Double by Gomez, the pass ball, all of that in a second, and then the single by Adames. Misses to run the count full. Renteria ejected for the 5th time this year. You know, he's doing a pretty good job of getting ejected in an era when you don't see so many ejections anymore.
Well, you do. You just don't see the build-up. You get ejected for invading a safe space. Yes. Yes.
Yep. Now come a step closer. You're 150 feet away. If you're 149 feet, you're gone.
And if you give me that look again on a ball 4, I'm going to run you.
And toward look.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, in all seriousness, you think about getting run 5 times, and you think about probably how frustrating it's been around this team at times this season with the record that they are. And, you know, they're looking to make that move and start to build. You know, they've made their big trades. They brought in a lot of young players, strong farm system, and now it's start to try to trend in the right direction, and it hasn't happened. Not yet, anyway.
Alex back in.
That probably leads to frustration up and down the roster.
Well, here's a trend that could lead to frustration. This is the 3rd straight inning the Rays have put the leadoff man on via the walk. They didn't score the first 2. And there's a line drive to 3rd, and Malix is doubled off first. And so he's retired.
Well, that's
frustrating.
Yeah, extremely, because it was a soft line drive. You see, Yolmer Sanchez had to recalibrate before he made the catch, and the quick throw over there to get Malix Smith, who just took a little bit too much. Yeah, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. A step and a half in the wrong direction, and they get you.
So the Rays lose that base runner via the leadoff walk. Kevin Kiermaier. Strike. Kevin looking for his first hit of the night. Comes off this one and is down 0-2. Rodon had some time on the disabled list starting late last year with a shoulder problem. And got a late start this year, but takes care of Kiermaier for the 3rd time tonight, 2nd time on strikes. We're tied 1-1 through 5. Back to Tropicana Field on this 2008 championship team commemoration weekend. And happy to have Dan Wheeler join us. Been a while since we've seen you.
Thank you. I don't even recognize that guy on the TV screen right there.
I'll tell you, it's been fun seeing all the guys. I know you guys have had a good time doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, some of the guys I haven't seen in years since that year, since 2010. But it was, well, 2008 for this, but 2010 when some of us kind of departed. But it's great to see some of these guys and catch up a little bit.
Anderson leading off here in the 6th inning. Count goes to 1-1. This game tied 1-1. You know, we talked with a number of players. We had Tom Foley in here. You know, Foley was one of those guys who was here in 97, 96 actually. And you were one of the guys as a player in the organization in 97. So you really have a perspective on what had gone on here when you came back then and found yourself in 2008 experiencing what you did.
It was really truly amazing. You know, and Tom, who was my minor league field director when I first played with the Devil Rays, when we first started, and then when I was lucky enough to get traded back here and see both sides of it, it was really something special. You know, we had some tough times and tough spots and early on, but then coming back and seeing the kind of talent that we had in 2007 when I got traded back here, I knew there was, I mean, could I say that we were going to be in the World Series in 2008? It's pretty tough to say, but I knew we had a bright future ahead of us.
At what point do you think you recognized that this team actually might be legitimate? You know, we had Casimir up here, and he was one of the first guys in spring training publicly to say, this team's going to contend. He said, you know, he caught a lot of grief for it at the time, but there were some signs that something good might be happening there. When did that start to be at least evident to you?
I mean, for me, I don't know if I would have gone as far as to say it in spring training like Kaz did, but I mean, you definitely saw that. Like I said, in 2007, when I saw some of the talent that we had, you know, BJ and Crawford and Shields and Casimir on the mound, and then, you know, making some trades, bringing in Bartlett and Garza, and then, you know, we knew that we had Evan Longoria coming up, and what an amazing talent he is, and then Pena coming off the year that he had in 2007, building into 2008, and bringing in guys like Eric Hinsky and Cliff Floyd and Trevor Miller. It was really something that you knew that there was, if we got a couple breaks, that we were going to be able to take care of and compete, and as tough as that is in a division with the Yankees and the Red Sox, but we liked playing that underdog.
For you personally, what moments, what do you remember most about the 08 season?
You know, I remember a lot of people not sure, like, okay, I think we had like a little scuffle at the end of, right before the All-Star break. And then we come back right after the All-Star break, and I think we won like 6 out of 7. And that was when we said, okay, this is for real. This isn't something that we're just messing around. The All-Star break is over. It's time to play some baseball, and we did. And I think, you know, everyone was waiting for us to falter and not, you know, like, okay, they're just messing around the first half. But when we come back from the break and we won 6 out of 7, I think it was right here. And, you know, I think we lost the last game. We had 6 games in a row, and we lost the last game in extra innings or whatever. And it's like, we should have won that game. And that was when I realized, like, okay, we got something going here.
You know, the bullpen, of course, they had a lot of talent in a lot of areas on that club, but the bullpen turned out to be something special as well. And bullpens are always special anyway. Give us a feel for how that developed in the bullpen.
It was tremendous. I mean, you know, you think about guys coming in out of, you know, not in their specific roles. J.P. Howell, who was a long guy, coming in and doing a tremendous job, picking up some great innings, and Balfour not making the team out of spring and just being one of the best relievers that year. It was, I mean, people just stepped up and did their job.
Yeah, great to see you and the whole crew here this weekend.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the Rays and the White Sox. Little game of this series. Matt Duffy's going to lead it off. We're all tied at 1. Duffy has walked and grounded out, and there's a base hit into center field. Duffy will make the turn aggressively and hang on at first. So Duffy is aboard for the 2nd time tonight. Hey, we haven't checked in with Michelle for a while. We've talked to a lot of folks. Michelle, how are you?
Dwayne, I'm doing well, but we do have some unfortunate news. Daniel Robertson obviously going on the disabled list with that left thumb injury, but he is going to see a hand specialist tomorrow. He could potentially miss up to 6 to 8 weeks. And in correspondence, the Rays have called up our Chevy prospect spotlight, Brandon Lau. He can play both infield and outfield, and he told me that he doesn't care which one he plays as long as he gets in the lineup. And Kevin Cash told the media that the plan is for him to play left field tomorrow. And Lau said during this whole time in the minors, his focus hasn't been trying to get to the big leagues. He just wanted to do the best job that he could at the level that he was at. And between AA and AAA this season, he's hit .297 with 22 home runs. So I would say that he probably earned this one, guys.
Yeah, that approach seems to be the smart way to go about your business. Just take care of your business at hand. Good things seem to happen. 2 strikes the count on Jake Bowers. Well, it's too bad for Robertson. Hate to hear that.
Yep. I mean, the way that he was contributing to this team and playing a number of different positions, playing with a high level of enthusiasm and energy.
Runner goes, a swing through on the pitch, and a stolen base for Duffy. Matt Duffy steals his way into scoring position, his 8th stolen base.
Well, I think that the Rays felt like this was something that they could do against Rodon. Trying to go after him a little bit on the base paths, especially in this game where offense has been lacking. Try to create something. The throw sails a little bit. Duffy gets down underneath it.
C.J. Crone. Off play at second. Moncada takes the throw, but back in Duffy. Side now, 1-0. Rodon, born in Miami. His father was born in Cuba. Rodon went to school at North Carolina State. He came out of there with some high praise and high comparisons to other lefties. Fly ball into right field, sending Garcia to the track. He makes the catch by the wall, and Duffy will head to third, and the throw is going to be beyond the third baseman. Sanchez backed up by Rodon, almost got away from him.
Well, you know what? And if it would have, Dwayne, Lurie Garcia was behind him. They had everybody back in this play up. Hustle play by Garcia out and left. Here's the throw, a strong throw. And the attempt here gets by. There's Rodon, and right behind him, oh, look, there comes Garcia. Well covered.
So a move up to third by Duffy. He's there with 2 outs. Carlos Gomez, who scored the run for the Rays in the 2nd inning, has double keyed that. Up here now with a chance to give the Rays the lead in the 6th. A strike. Rays 2-2 against the White Sox in the season series, and all of the games have been decided by 1 run. It's a 1-1 count right now. It's low. Two. He's with runners in every inning. And in scoring position in 4 of the 6 innings. And Carlos Gomez is hit by that pitch. How about that?
That was outstanding.
Here's another look. Well, he keeps it lively.
All the while, that was 95 in the ribs.
So it's first and third for Joey Wendell. Pitch is down 1-0.
That, and listen, we can go back and try to think of other things that have happened over the course of this long season. That's automatically top 3.
It's in a category all by itself.
To take 95 in the ribs and then to think about doing that, and by the way, he sold it. He went down at first. You're a little concerned. I mean, everything just goes limp right here, right? So good.
Runner breaks off first, a cut and a miss. And into second, no play. Gomez in there with a steal. His 9th stolen base.
Again, and look at that. There was a hesitation on the first move, and he still gets in without a throw. So the Rays obviously feeling that they can take some liberties here with Rodon on the mound, even as a lefty.
2 steals in this inning, one by Duffy, one by Gomez.
And here again, the Rays playing some reindeer games coming down the third base line. I mean, Rodon's got to be out there wondering what was going on here.
Who am I pitching against?
This is like winter ball in Venezuela. Things getting a little crazy.
Wendell, a little tapper. And they throw to first in time. The Rays get a single, a hit batter, and leave 2. Tied 1-1 through 6. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. Rocco Baldelli, Edwin Jackson, Johnny Gomes, and Matt Garza. Yeah, Garza's in pursuit there. Better one.
How about Edwin Jackson still going strong? He's on team like 24 or something like that.
Yeah, he's played for more teams than exist.
Listen.
Avisail Garcia.
He really has.
And what a great guy.
Yeah.
Strike the count.
Well, that team had a lot of quality character guys.
Yep. Strikes. Blake Snell started, coming off the DL, made 59 pitches, 4 innings of 1-run baseball. Chirinos has followed him. Scoreless 5th and a scoreless 6th. Now Garcia, Moncada, and Davidson up in the 7th. Swaying and a miss. Garcia is out of there. Second strikeout for Chirinos. This is your last chance tonight to purchase a 2018 Rays Flex Pack. Fans can purchase 5 lower level tickets for just $75. A savings of up to 60%, and each pack purchased includes your choice of gift. Either a double Rays pullover or pint glass set. Presented by Dex Imaging. Last opportunity. Carter, who twice has struck out, is behind in the count 0-2. In front of the changeup there.
Yeah, that split, Dwayne, has been really, really active here tonight. So has the velocity. Seen consistent 96.
There you go. He held on the appeal. Ramon DeJesus said he checked.
Moncada, always a candidate for the strikeout. He did hold up right there. You've got a few more coming at you.
Davidson, the on-deck man. He is the designated hitter. He is out on strikes. Strikeout number 3 for Chirinos.
That is just overpowering a hitter. Rare back, 96, 2-seam. Started inner third, work it right to middle, and blast it right by him.
Third time Moncada has struck out. Here's Davidson. Ball short center. Kiermaier is there to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down, 7th inning stretch time. 1-1 ball game. of the game. A lot of photo ops, and with that, a lot of smiles all the way around, including that big smile there from one Brian Anderson. Nice job on the first pitch by Aki.
Well, Dwayne, I got to go to Soot Zimmer first.
Yes.
Got to steal a kiss.
Yeah.
How could you not smile at
Give
that?
her a hug, and you did the proper thing. Set the protocol for everyone else to greet Soot Zimmer.
Gonna set the bar high.
I would not expect anything but that from you. Juan Minaya is the new pitcher. 6 innings of 1-run baseball for the White Sox starter. Adames leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 the count. We saw Minaya for 2/3 of an inning last night. It's too low. 2-1. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Rodon.
Boy, able to pitch around all of those walks.
High fly ball right side near the line. Garcia into foul territory. Avisail Garcia makes the catch. It's the first out. The Rays had base runners in every inning with the lefty out there. And the leadoff man on base in each of the last 4 innings. Settled for 1 run. That came in the 2nd.
That's one of those instances, too, where how much blame do you lay at the feet of the Rays hitters? How much credit do you place in front of Rodon for making the pitches when he needs to?
Yep. Either way, it's frustrating.
Yep.
1-0 on Malik Smith.
Boy, especially when you look at the percentage and how many times we see it, leadoff walks, and how many times they bite you, and you get a bunch of them.
Yeah, you get a general idea about 50% of the time. So when you've got an offer in that,
yeah,
you're not happy.
Yeah, no, and especially when it's inning after inning after inning
after inning. 4 in a row.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, now you try to manufacture something here down at the bottom of the order, get something going.
Alex behind in the count now, 1-2. Sucre on deck. Balls 2 strikes. Still 2-2. Well, the Rays couldn't help but feel they let one get away last night after tying it with a couple runs in the 8th to lose it in 10, 3-2. And still another 1-run game for the Rays. And in a tie game tonight, 1-1. Piece of it foul. Still a 2-2 count. Minaya to the plate again. Gonna go 3-2. Smith out on strikes. 2 up and 2 down. MLB TV available at a lower price now for just $82.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply, so visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer. Jesus Sucre looking at a pitch low. The ball on a line to third in the 5th inning when Malik Smith was doubled off first. Ground ball to third. And across the diamond, Sanchez makes the throw. 3 up, 3 down. On to the 8th. 1-1 tie. Coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers. James Shields will be on the hill tomorrow for Chicago. How about that World Series footage from Shields back in '08? It's a Kids Sunday, and the coverage begins at 12:30. Yonny Chirinos to begin the 8th inning. He took over in the 5th after Snell worked the first 4. Homer Sanchez takes a pitch down. 1-0. Ball and 1 strike. Ball 2 strikes. Sanchez will be out on the throw down to first. Strikeout number 5 for Chirinos. Adam Engel will be lifted for a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Delmonico. Delmonico, who doubled in the 10th inning last night. He is the pinch hitter for Engel.
Hey, listen, I think Chicago White Sox hoping for a little bit of that magic here tonight, because Yonny Chirinos has really handcuffed this lineup and looking for something to happen. Both of these offenses stuck in the mud
Down to first. Bowers is going to make the play unassisted. 2 gone.
You know, that, I'll tell you what, that, by the way, and we'll get back to talking about Bowers right there, but this is what we're talking about. T-Mobile built for baseball. Yanni Chirinos has come in pumping heat. Fastball consistently around 96 miles an hour, the split in the upper 80s, and it has been dancing. Even that pitch left in the zone couldn't get to it. A lot of them bottoming out, but he's been overpowering guys with the heater. That's that good split down in the dirt. Cannot lay off of it.
Now Narvaez, the catcher, has walked and grounded into a double play. Takes a big cut and misses. Strike 1. Oh, 2. Xavier Cedeno is up in the bullpen for the White Sox. He tried to check, could not. Narvaez out on strike. Strikeout number 6 for Chirinos. Bottom of the 8th we go. Kiermaier 2 up. Tied 1-1. And coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Doug will be along to anchor our coverage, recapping the 2008 reunion. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and a minor league report, per usual, of the Rays farm system. Top of the order, there's Garcia moving over to center field from left. Luari Garcia, and Delmonico now plays left. Kiermaier takes the pitch, and that's a strike. Juan Minaya beginning his 2nd inning of relief. And another strike. Fastball down at the knees. 0-2. Lower this time. 1-2. And he got a little bit of that one. Take a look. He's got Narvaez.
Right at the inside of that right leg, unprotected.
Ground ball foul. Oh. Hey, the nice backhand pick right there in the front row. Playing the corner very well. Reach over.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Got excited there for a second. I thought you were taking it down a different road.
It's inside. 2-2.
I mean, over, around it. It all works.
Yeah. Sweet again, a miss. Kiermaier's out on strikes. Down for the third time tonight on strikes. Matt Duffy. There's a strike. Duffy has walked, grounded out, it's single.
They got you a little bit there?
Got me a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit. Ground ball headed too short, diving stop. Anderson up in the throw. Oh, just in time. Duffy trying to get down there as quickly as he could. Thought maybe he beat it.
Well, this is our Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game. How about Tim Anderson's range? Quick pop up, strong throw, and wow, just in time. But Matt Duffy watching that all the way. And I mean by a hair, by a hair. He's trying to influence.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. Give it a try. 2 gone. Now a pitching change coming with a left-handed bat of Jake Bauers due up. Cedeno will get the call. Back in a moment. Scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. A new spin on a classic. They're loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. So unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Xavier Cedeno makes his 22nd appearance for Chicago. 1-0. And in those 21 appearances, 16 in the third inning.
And you know what? The strikeout's impressive at 20. You see the 10 walks. So there are times where he's going to pitch around a guy. And we know the one thing about Xavier Cedeno, nothing straight.
Yep.
Breaking ball misses low to Bowers to begin this at bat. Nothing. Blake Snell started for the Rays, worked 4. Tony Chirinos has 4 innings of work in. Cedeno behind 3-0. Crone, the on deck man. There's Chirinos in the dugout. And 1. It's Crone with a walk. Otherwise 0 for 2. Picks up the zone. Full count. Ground ball back to the mound. Cedeno with the underhanded toss. 3 up, 3 down, go the Rays. We go to the 9th, tied 1-1. Tonight, your last chance to purchase 2018 Rays Flex Packs. Purchase 5 lower level tickets for just $75. Savings of up to 60%. Each pack purchase includes your choice of gift, either a Devil Rays pullover or a pint glass set presented by Dex Imaging. Last opportunity for info, visit raysbaseball.com/flex. Tim Anderson, top of the order for the Chicago White Sox.
Everybody pulled around to that left side. Jake Bauers by himself, well off the line over on the right side. Anderson can fly.
Down to third and past the diving Duffy. Up the left field line. Malik Smith will have to go get it. And Anderson has himself a double. Just like that. A threat with nobody out for the White Sox.
Just because you have 3 infielders on one side does not guarantee success. This ball just stays up, stays flat. Anderson gets around it and hits it hard enough, and you can see playing there even with the bag. So Matt Duffy's range is going to be limited. And so literally it's a twist and a dive, and that ball squirts right by him.
Now the center fielder, Uri Garcia. That's the first hit given up by Chirinos tonight. bunt, third base side. That'll be a foul ball. Strike one. Sox trying to get Anderson over to third.
I'll tell you what, Garcia got out of there like he wanted to get to first. Forget the sacrifice. I'll take the base hit. Trying to play some small ball. Runs have been tough to come by here tonight. Tell that. I'll tell you, you've got look where he's at, right on the line. Boy, you bunt it hard in here. You get a base hit, may score a run.
And he bunts, pops it up, but it's foul and out of the reach of Duffy.
You know, wouldn't you be thinking that? Angle the bat, not try to bunt it up the third base line. Let me just punch it out to shortstop.
Yep.
You're still going to get the runner to third regardless, and I'll tell you what, you run a pretty good chance of getting a hit yourself. See how he's reaching out for that ball that's up and off the plate. Those are the ones you pop up. We saw that come back to bite the Rays in last night's game. And now what do you do? 2 strikes, probably going to swing the bat.
Showing bunt and bunts third base side. Duffy's throw is wide and up into the stands. They get the run home. Garcia winds up at second. Well, he was shooting for that open left side and put it down.
And Dwayne, it's exactly right. Even with 2 strikes, he's going to bunt, but he's not bunting up the third base line now. He's trying to catch a little bit more of the field, and Matt Duffy right over here hugging the line. Even though he's close, he's got to move to go get this thing. And now you're coming across. Now it's a race to first, and the throw gets rushed. He may have beaten it anyway, but regardless, the throw is rushed, and now it's wide. This is exactly what we were talking about. And he does get the runner over, and unfortunately the throw gets him in.
It's a bunt single and an error charge to Duffy. Now a man at second. It's a 2-1 game and nobody out. And Jose Abreu, who accounted for the first Chicago run with a home run that came in the 4th inning, is up here in the 9th. High ball center field. It's Kiermaier in to make the catch. Well, they get the big bat of Abreu. Abisail Garcia. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Right field. Gomez in line to make the catch. The runner holds. So after the run scored, 2 men retired. Mayuri Garcia is still at second base. And Yohan Moncada, who turned out to deliver the game winner last night, is the hitter, and they're going to walk him intentionally. So he'll be passed down to first.
You don't see that very often. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Gets the intentional walk.
You know what happened last night? He's a guy who struggles against left-handed pitching, but he delivered that hit from the right side in the 10th. Better side, the left side. So he's walked. Moncada at first. Mayuri Garcia at second. Matt Davidson due. He'll be lifted. Daniel Palka will be the pinch hitter for Davidson.
Tremendous power.
Takes a strike.
And by the way, has 3 pinch hit homers on the season too.
$16 total. And the 0-1 pitch. Foul, 0-2.
Oh.
Tough night.
Lax. Got a little lax. Set up for well. Got to get the glove down. Got to get the backside down, glove down, out in front. It's all right. Oh, he's just lost his duties. Been demoted.
The 0-2 foul the other way, out of play. Rays in the bottom of the ninth. Due to have C.J. Cron lead off. Carlos Gomez and Joey Wendell. Torino's trying to keep this a 1-run game. It is low, blocked by Sucre. Tapper, and it hits him, so he's out. Well, hit him inside the baseline on the back. So the Rays down by a run will have Cron to lead it off. This weekend celebrating that 2008 championship team, and they got to the bottom of the ninth down by a run tonight after dropping a 1-run game 3-2 in 10 innings last night. Thiago Vieira is the new pitcher. 4th of the night. Cedeno becomes the pitcher of record for the White Sox, and here's C.J. Cron to lead it off. Pitch is a strike.
Well, you can say this, Dwayne, limited outings here for Vieira, but you got a fastball that averages a little over 97 miles an hour, so he's got really, really good stuff. See if the Rays can get to him.
Foul back, 0-2, 97 right there.
Boy, how about being thrown right out into the fire? 2 1/3 this season. Did throw an inning in 2017.
And a reach on that one. Cron is out on strikes with the put out going to Abreu.
Boy, that's a slider where the fingers not together. You don't see that. You know, well, Alex Colomé used to throw a slider where his fingers were spread just a little bit. Usually you keep those babies right together, but everybody's got a different way of gripping the baseball, and that's a grip on that breaking ball. You don't see that often.
Pitch up and in, a fastball. Upstairs, 2-0. Double barrel action in the bullpen. Avilan and Gomez. Upstairs now to Gomez, Carlos Gomez. It's 3-0. Wendell on deck. He lets it out. 3-0 on that fastball. He might fall over after that swing.
You're going to feel this one for a while.
Now he takes it. It's 3-2. Him up, got it in. Abreu making the call, and the drop. And Gomez winds up at second, but they're going to call him out. The plate umpire, Tom Payne, says he was taking the ball out of the glove, and so Gomez is out, number 2.
Well, let's take a look. Pretty clear.
So 2 gone. Base is empty for Joey Wendell. Only run tonight for the Rays, driven home by Adames in the second. And they're down to their final out, trailing 2-1. Count.
Joey Wendell, get yourself ready for a fastball and put a good swing on it. That's got to be the mindset right now. You got to think that that is what down in the count 2-0 Vieira is going to come with.
He misses upstairs. Behind Wendell, he fell behind Gomez, but eventually got him on the pop-up. Now 3-0 to Wendell with Adames on deck. And that's going to be ball 4. So the Rays have a base runner down to their last out. The potential winning run is at the plate. big conference on the hill. Now a visit. So the Rays with Adames due to hit. Cooper will hold court on the mound. Gomez and Avilon in the bullpen. Day game tomorrow. We'll be with you at 12:30, the wrap-up game of this series. And the Rays trying to pull something out here in the bottom of the ninth, down by a run. Adames bounds it right back. Fastball.
Well, that swing was to end it. And I'm sure that, I mean, maybe all three of them. Willie Adames up there are going to turn it loose here. No question what he's trying to do. Spin it.
And it's in there for a strike. Upper region.
Yeah, Dwayne, and it didn't have to be. Not a good slider there. Right at the fringe, the top of the strike zone. Not a lot of break on it, kind of hanging there, and then you get the call to go to 0-2. That's tough.
This one to the backstop. Gets by Narvaez. And up to second base goes Wendell.
Well, he spikes a breaking ball here, trying to make the adjustment, and it squirts through 5-hole. Glove comes up, ball stays down. Now all you need, just drop one in somewhere, roll one through.
It's a ball, 2-strike count. A little piece of it foul, reaching. Just enough to stay alive and earn himself another pitch. Confirms it. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss on the fastball at 98. Adames out on strikes. And another 1-run game between these two clubs. 2-5-0 with 4 left for Chicago. 1-3-1 for the Rays. Cedeno will get the win. Villara gets the save. Chirinos the loss. 2 hours and 43 minutes time of this game. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, Rays Live, the post game comes your way next, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.